All right, good morning, guys. So today is October 9th, 2020, and I'm going to go over Bitcoin, just kind of some key levels I'm watching for. It's not necessarily, hey, this is what's happening. I'm taking a trade today immediately, anything like that. Let me get that out of the way. Um, but it's more of a game plan heading into pretty much elections and the end of the year. So you'll see here, there's a lot of stuff going on this chart. I'm actually going to start fresh on a blank one and really show you what I'm looking at and break this down. If you want the key levels that I'm watching pretty much 11,500 to 11,750 or so. For I'm bearish on it at the moment, but price could very well break through it, so you don't want to just put sell orders there or anything. But I'm watching that spot for a sell. I'm also watching 9,200 region for a buy. I'm also um, watching 8,000 for a buy, and then 13,000 could be a good target, or I would say 14,000 would be a good target. Um, but it would be best for you to watch this video in its entirety because you're going to see which levels will play a role, when and where, and what I'm looking for at each one, and kind of the variables that we need to happen for each level to have its certain bias. So I'm going to break down pretty much one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 components in this analysis. So let's just start breaking it down. So I did post this on TradingView. Let me find a blank chart. I think they're all marked up. I just don't want to erase them. We'll do Gemini. That should be good. Okay. All right. So it part of this analysis starts with August close and the September close. So if you saw my other Bitcoin analysis, I'm bullish on Bitcoin heading into pretty much Q2 of next year. So I'm looking for opportunities to buy on a monthly, weekly, daily. Intraday stuff like the 1 hour, the 15-minute setups and stuff like that, you can buy or sell depending on the sentiment you're in. But overall, long term, I'm looking to buy. I have a bullish bias over the coming months. So what's important to note though is this is August's high. This is August's low. And then we have September's high and we have September's low. So we have, September made a lower high and then it also made a lower low. So if October fails to break September's high, then we could be looking to work within this region still. Price is still going to be consolidating for us. But if it fails to break September's high, and it's, if 11,500 holds up, which we'll go over what I'm watching at that level. If that level holds up, um, and price does not break through it, then I'm bearish on it, at least heading into November, December, and the remainder of the year. There will be certain levels I think that price will want to get to and will be attracted to. So we'll break that down further. But it's important to note with all of these videos that I put out, it's especially when you're new to trading, if you're someone who's been in trading for less than 5 months or a year, whatever it may be, or you're just struggling to be consistent, it's not always about being right or wrong. If there's one thing you can gain from the videos that I'm putting out, these analysis ones specifically, whether it's forex, whether it's crypto, whatever I'm analyzing, just observe the process that I go through. So have you seen me drop down to a 5 minute chart? Have you seen me drop down to a 1 minute chart yet? No. I'm working on a bigger chart and really analyzing the candle. So there's some data that I'm getting just from August candle and September candle. So it can tell you a lot. And then it's about blending the time frames together just to get a big picture idea of what's going on. So just to really like take note of the process that I'm going through as well, not just is this right or wrong? How can I make money on this geo? Where can I get in and at? Where can I sell at? Observe the process that I go through. So we have the monthly. We have these, this possible bear scenario happening. This is a buy zone. that I covered in the other video. I'm not going to go into that here. So this whole region, we're still looking to buy within here, and it really could just be anywhere in here if we wanted it to be. But based off the rules I use, this would be the zone we're watching for. So pretty much anything under 9,300 should be a healthy buy. So that's all I needed from the monthly were those two things. So I'll label them real quick. August high. August low. September high. September low. All right. So now we're just going to start from the beginning. So, on that monthly chart, this was the entire move that I was just basically summarizing. I think it may have even been, yeah, it was this entire move. Yep. It's actually the coronavirus spike. So there's a very important component of this. The entire move itself is definitely a stop hunt. It's a And what I mean by that is there's not people sitting on the other side of it looking to close you out. They're just there's going to be a lot of orders sitting here because there were a lot of stop losses sitting here. So if you're someone with a lot of money, it's a good opportunity for you to buy those up. And we see that here. I mean, it's a nice head and shoulders, prices trending upwards. It's a stop hunt move. I'm not going to go into the detail of it too much. Check my other videos for that. But what's very important is this entire candle right here. This daily candle. We're on a daily chart. So you'll see that price goes sideways for about 3 days and then just spears right down on March 12th. The date isn't too important, but what's important is the move. This right here is telling us that there was a ton of selling, aggressive selling built, and then you see price explode right into all those stop hunts all in one move, and it's a super bearish engulfing. So I'm sure more people started selling here too, and on the other side of it, the smart money's picking up those sells, and they're just buying them all up, and we can see that because price climbs upward. So this is a stop hunt spot, and this is where they built a lot of the position in here. So I'm just going to drop to a 4-hour and refine this zone to find out where the volume's at. And if you want to learn how I basically find the volume, you can use volume profile, but I prefer to do it just with the naked eye. It's a pretty well balanced rotation, but I'll just go with the middle of it. That's going to be where the most amount of volume was built up, in my opinion. Do 7,900. So the idea right here is there was a heavy amount of sell orders built here, and then they pushed price down so they could buy people's stops. So then what we see, if we just go back to the daily, and at this point in time, guys, if I say, check out my other video on that, and the video's not up yet, it's because this YouTube's very young in its and where it's at. So the videos just aren't up yet, but they will be. So keep an eye out because like how to draw the volume profile and stuff like that will be up. But then if we go to the daily right here, we'll see that we have a gap. So there's a price imbalance right here. So the idea is when I see those, they don't have to get filled, but I'm looking for them to. So right here, there's the sell move initiated. Price comes right back up above it, and then when it tests this level again, it's like it doesn't even exist. So the idea here is that if you place a trade, sometimes let's say let's say you bought something. let's just say you bought something right here on this blue candle, and you bought it at the beginning of it. So right where this orange line is, let's say you bought right here. And if you're just holding a trade and price comes down and you didn't, you know, buy or sell or do anything, then that you're not going to be, your action won't be reflected on this candle that you bought over here. And what I'm trying to say is, on a larger scale, if you bought something right here and then price comes back to this area and you just don't do anything, then your actions aren't going to be reflected in the chart, if that makes sense. So right here, at this point in time on March 10th, there was heavy amounts of sell orders initiated into the market to buy those stops. And then on April 30th, price just shot through it and there was no action taken. And the reason I say that is because uh, this right here, this gap, is a liquidity void. So there's literally like no volume occurring right here. And if I take out volume profile, it should be a very thin amount of volume. And we'll compare it to, hopefully Gemini has their volume on here. I don't think they do. I'll switch to another one. Whatever, I'll erase it. All right, so if we look at the volume, does Coinbase not have it either? Well, anyway, you'll see here if you take out volume profile and were to just measure this whole move, there's going to be little to no volume in here. So that means on March 10th there was a very large sell action initiated, but on April 30th there was no buy or sell heavy volume action initiated as well. So that tells me that these orders could still be held. So that means they initiated those sells to buy, and throughout all of this, there could still be those sell orders open. So ideally, what we'd want to see is price refill this gap or imbalance, and we're looking for it to fill at this spot, because right now they could potentially be losing money on these the sells that were initiated here, because I haven't seen them get closed out yet. So when they close those out, since we're bullish based off the monthly, the quarterly, the yearly charts that we've analyzed, we're bullish long term. So there should be, when this gets closed out or mitigated, when they need to get rid of that position, it should become you should see heavy buy orders flood back into the market off of 8,000 or so. So it's a very important price. So that is number one and number two. So we're looking for that imbalance. We have it there. We have the stop hunt, but it's yet to be closed out, those sells, which is very important. This is like a setup I live for. That's probably my number one type of entry that I look for. So I do this like, I'll place like 15 trades a week off just that concept. So it's highly accurate, highly precise, and price will be attracted to that level. So it's a good one that you can sell into for a target as well. All right, next one, number three. So this is going to be a rotation that I'm seeing as well. So it's nothing crazy. We just see price kind of rotating around a price level like this, and kind of coiling on itself and compressing. So I mean, you can see that it's just a consolidation. It's a range, but what's really going on there is there's a lot of transactions and there's a lot of positions getting built, and those were bullish positions. Most of them were built right here, just because that's where a lot of time was spent by price. So that's going to be a key level moving forward. I'll actually just draw lines. It's 92. It's like 9,300. right there, I'd say 9100. So there's a lot of volume in there, and it's bullish. We can see that by the way it exited. So this is just going to be a price level I'm looking to watch. I may take a buy on an intraday chart or something like that here, but price should be attracted to this level as well. But overall, it's just an important level to watch. So just because there's so much volume that was built here. So now let's go to number 4, which is going to be this rotation. So most of the volume was built on that in this rotation, right in here. Right here, so pretty much like 11,500 to 11,750 or so. So we'll call it 8 and 5. Pretty much this region, but the bulk of it should be right in there. So this is another level to watch. And that was a bearish position. Doesn't mean that price is going to, go to the downside off of it. But that's the idea. We want to look for a sell at that for that extra confirmation. So this was a bearish rotation. We can see that as price entered it, rotated, and then dropped down out of it. Number 5 is going to be September's high, which was right here. I'll make it a little more bold. So here's the thing. We have August candle formed, and then September made a lower low and a lower high. So if in October, price can come up here, which we have a harmonic in development, we have another one right here, and then this is potentially an ABCD. So we would have 3 algorithmic patterns in the crypto market, which is, in my opinion, there's going to be a lot of algorithmic people taking advantage just of the space because I wouldn't say it's a nerdier space. I feel like that's a bad way to put it, but it's I feel like there's a lot of people who know how to code that trade in crypto and things like that, which is not a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, um, it's an attribute of that market, I would say. So we would have 3 algorithmically based or mathematically based patterns forming right here at a high volume price. So that could be even more limit orders flooding into the market once that gets triggered. And the most important thing though is right here. This is November. This is October. So if price comes up like this, and there's some sort of a sell signal, I will be watching this area for a sell, and we do get a sell signal in here, and price ends up dropping like this, and then into election week or whatever, it spikes down. This could be the low. Pretty much what we'd be getting is a lower high, lower low in September, and then October we'd be getting a lower high and a lower low as well. So that just kind of adds some confirmation that we could be seeing that downtrend into these levels that I was talking about for a buy. All right, so this is going to be a level to watch. If for some reason price struggles to get there, and we start approaching November without it reaching this level yet, then it could very well just keep dropping down or go up right past it. But it's just going to be a good level to watch. If price breaks above it, I'd be looking to buy at the retest of it, and then we can ride up to the summer 2019 highs, which should be right here. So those could be good targets if October makes a new high. So this is going to be a good level to watch. You could sell here and then ride down here, which is something I'll be looking to do because I believe price will want to be attracted to these levels. I'll make this one blue. Let me see if I'm missing anything else. So 7, I already talked about that. That would be them mitigating this level. And you can sell into these targets because price should be attracted to it. We're going to watch 11,700-ish. I'd be looking for a sell at it. And then this is a good target. September's low could be a good target, and then that imbalance will be a good target as well. Another thing to be mindful of is election day is right there. So in an ideal scenario, this is what I'm looking for. I still believe that these need to get mitigated. So what I'm looking for is, and you guys will see this as you just watch more of my analysis videos, I use liquidity. So either when there's areas with a lot of liquidity or maybe a lack of, and then harmonic patterns or algorithmic patterns, which to me they're the same thing because they're mathematically based. So we would have one completing right in here. We also have another one, an ABCD, that would be completing right here. And then we also have a butterfly pattern that would be completing right here. So that would be the one that I'm watching. So we have pretty much these three spots that could be good sells. I'm going to be watching the bottom two because if price comes up here, I don't want to necessarily sell that because we'd be breaking that volume. I want this volume to hold up. So I'd be watching the butterfly pattern right here on the smaller time frame. I'll draw it out. So that's the butterfly. I'd be looking to sell that. And then since we'd potentially be within a bigger move, what I'd also be looking for is this. This is what I really like. I'll draw the structure out so you can see it. But we have this low, then our midpoint, which hits 707. Oops. And then this move would retrace to the 707. And then this move, if we extend the leg of, pretty much what I'm doing is I'm projecting out on a harmonic. And this one does fail and we get that sell. This would be the 127, which would be the projection for a bullish butterfly. And another thing to note too is if you see price doing this and it makes a high, let's say it just does one right here, usually after two, maybe sometimes three highs, that's when it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's gonna drop, but after three highs, it's getting weaker. So this is like it's a bullish channel as you can see, and usually after that third high, especially if you get like divergence and a sell signal on it, that'll be kind of the end of that channel most of the time from my experience. So we have this harmonic projecting out. We also have this one as well. So this is another buy zone. This would be an impulsive crab pattern. You're not going to find that one on YouTube. This is one that I got the ratios for myself. I just like inverted all the harmonic patterns that I trade. And the projection for that pattern, the 100% take profit would be all the way up here. You'd ABCD it. So, but that's not what this video is necessarily about. It's about seeing the algorithmic stuff occurring right at those levels as well. It's just, I want to make pretty much the reason I look for that is because I want my entries to be mathematically based. I don't want them to necessarily be subjective. I want my entries to be a mathematical base, or it's just mechanical in a sense. So that's why I use those patterns at those high level volume or weak level volume areas I'm describing. So that's Bitcoin. I really like the fact that this is pulled back to 707. This one hits a 707. This one would extend to a 127, which the importance of these is they're all uh, ratios based off of 707. So when you see three or four times 707, 707, 707, that's a good sign. And 707 usually works very well with these levels as well. So this swing low, there's like a move right here that got initiated. This might pull back, and you see it hit the 786. So those two levels are very identical. They're when you see 707 and 786, usually they go hand in hand. They work together very well. So that's what I'm watching for Bitcoin. I'm looking to sell here. If it breaks above, then there could be a good opportunity to buy. But I want to sell October if we get a sell signal. I want to potentially catch October's high. And if price can stay under September's high and start dropping into elections, this would be a very nice target. And if I'm a market maker, it's going to make sense that while the rest of the world is frantic or can, sees a crazy move during elections, they're just going to blame it on elections. So it's a great opportunity for an institution to do a heavy move with everyone just kind of dismissing it as, oh, it's because of elections. That's why that's occurring. But if you look right here, this level, I'm telling you, the 7,900, that 8,000 mark, they had that big action move right here that really initiated those stop hunts or triggers, and then they haven't done anything since at that level. So, and there's that void which price might want to refill and book on the other side of that. So, it'll be very important to watch that. That could be the low of December, and then heading into 2021, we get something like that. That could very well be the low of 2021 as we approach into a new year, and we have most likely a new trend that would form. I've noticed, every single year the trends, I wouldn't say trends, but the sentiment may change. So we could get something long term, and I'll stop the video after this because going further than what the analysis needs to be, something like this, and then it could very well continue up. But it's good to see that could be occurring right at the end of the year as well. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you trade Forex as well, which is primarily what I trade, crypto is something I'm going to be transitioning to. But Forex, I live and die by Forex. And if you guys need any mentorship, coaching, or want to send me breakdowns of your charts, if you want to send me breakdowns of your charts, find me on TradingView. I'll put the link for that below. If you're interested in coaching, mentorship, or just some private sessions, maybe um, have some things that you feel like you're struggling with as a trader, whatever it may be, or just want to pick my brain and get the techniques I use, I offer that as well. So you can always email me. My email is info.elevatedinvestor@gmail.com. That probably will be changing in the next month or so. So I'll put a link below when I change it, but that's the email I'm using right now. Um, and if you do trade Forex, I put out levels every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in my community that I have. The link for that's below as well. And then every Friday, I also put out a video reviewing the trades I took for the week, why I took them, so that way you can learn the process and what's more importantly, the logic behind them, why I'm doing it. And then every Sunday I give an outlook as well. So Sunday I give outlooks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is when I give the levels out, and then Friday is when I give the weekly review of what I did for the week and why I did what I did. So I do that every single week for Forex. If you guys like it, click the subscribe button or the like button. Get my videos out there so that way the YouTube algorithm takes care of us. But I'll see you guys on the next video. I hope you enjoyed it.